advocacy of war as a most effective option in achieving freedom were present and listening to. Of course, I do not expect any such person to agree with Fayemi's thesis that dialogue is a most effective approach. This is because dialogue had gone on in Nigeria even before independence in 1960. The Ekiti governor said that much too. The cynics amongst us, he said, would like to ask me that if I am so confident that we can resolve these issues through dialogue or any form of parliament, how come such previous efforts have failed to lead to the desired outcome? My answer would be that the national transformation that we seek can only happen through the transformation of the individual and the individual's transformation in relation to fellow citizens and in relation to the nation itself. People create systems and not the other way around. It is only by the transformation of the individual that we can hope to do that which is necessary for the transformation of our country. In my thoughts, I found in Fayemi's thesis lies a new deal for the indigenous people of Biafra Ipob, like MASOB, movement for the actualization of the sovereign state of Biafra, has led agitation for the restoration of the defunct Biafra Republic. Of late, the agitation had turned violent, a clear departure from its initial approach. The violent bent had threatened the life of the Southeast, its economy and people, leading to concerns across the country. The concerns arise from the feeling that those behind the violence were pulling the region into a war that it does not need. But with the passage of time, something has been established about IPOP. It has the numbers. IPOP has very large followership across Nigeria and globally. It has very enthusiastic members who fund it. This suggests itself as reason its sit-at-home order are obeyed, though with apprehensions. It also goes to suggest that the group has good funding system and also well organized such that the arrest and detention of its leaders has not strategically affected its structure. It makes sense to suggest that the group could therefore take advantage of its structure and numbers to fix itself for the 2023 electoral cycle. Two facts emerged from the Anambra governorship election. Professor Charles Soludo was declared winner with 112,229 votes. Second fact is that total number of registered voters in the election was a little above 2.5 million. There are suggestions that IPOP has much more than 112,229 followers and sympathizers in Anambra State alone. It is also believed that IPOP has much more than 2.5 million followers, both the openly vocal and closet followers and supporters. And given that no person has won a governorship election in the Southeast with up to 400,000 votes, one begins to see the possibilities for IPOP. These numbers may work for it in an election. Can IPOP therefore transform itself into a political movement capable of challenging the political narrative of the Southeast? I think it can if it is able to properly organize its followers and begin to see the possibilities open before it. However, I do not expect the groups to achieve recognition and registration as a political party, association, or group. Given its antecedents, I do not see the federal government of Nigeria granting it such recognition, but it can achieve same by rallying its members to join a political party and gradually work its way up the leadership ladder to take control. Party politics is about numbers and strategic planning. With its numbers, the group can take over the state and possibly the regional leadership of any of the numerous political parties in Nigeria, and use it as a platform to launch its leadership ideology in the state of its region. All it takes is to get organized and convince members of work through the walls to achieve the numbers that would vote at the congresses or conventions of the party. This is the straight and sure way to achieve control. Of course, it will take time, but again, there is no shortcut to success. African National Congress (ANC) did not win is on a platter. That is the story of every group that had sought to change the political reality of its environment. From radical extremism and violent agitation, such groups ended up in the political table dialogue where they explored the advantages their numbers offered to cause the change they earlier asked for by force or arm. I guess that is what Fayemi meant when he said that the national transformation that we seek can only happen through the transformation of the individual and the individual's transformation in relation to fellow citizens and in relation to the nation itself. People create systems and not the other way around. It is only by transformation of the individual that we can hope to do that which is necessary for the transformation of our country. Ipob can become relevant to the political evolution of the Southeast and probably Nigeria by transforming itself into a group and understands the advantages that its numbers offer in the process of constitutionally and democratically changing the narrative that it had sought to change through civil disobedience or violence against society. Oh my goodness, these people can come and say blah 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 blah. The Fayemi that is talking, they sabi give the advice, and that is, and they can't give it to Buhari to do the right thing. The question is that if you are blaming people who are not doing it right, what of the government? Why is the government not doing the right thing? Because if the government is doing the right thing, believe you me, all of this is wouldn't have been happening. All this is wouldn't have been happening. Fayemi get that sense where he's now a two-time governor now. He's still there. He was a minister of mining, and they have been holding one position several times or severally. Tell me all these kind of sense where they say they get. Why they not use them make this Nigeria for good? Being at the helm of affair, they still their power. Oh. They still their power. Do the right thing. You believe you me. All these agitations by default will vanish. Will go away. You have this sense, and Nigeria see what it is. You have this kind of sense, you have this kind of advice, and you cannot advise Buhari. You don't talk about S-men that are ravaging all over the place. The bandits, what are the things that you need to do? Because they always talk about the soft targets, because that's it to tell you, for you to be talking and everybody be talking about IPOB, that means that they are not as violent as people are portraying them. Because we know those who are violent, these guys will never talk about them. They will never talk about want to talk about bandits. They want to confront Buhari that what you are doing is not good. Arrest these S-men. Stop all this nonsense that they are doing. Stop them from doing that. You will not see all these people talk about it too. They will never talk about it. But when it comes to people that they know that they can flex their muscle on, they will begin to talk them. It's unfortunate. If you get the sense, why the country never go forward? They are talking about political. The ones who have been doing the political, this is where have they led us? Where have they led us to?